There's a really interesting paradox happening in property management right now. The opportunity for growth, it has never, ever been bigger. And yet, more professionals are burning out than ever before. So today, we're going to dig into why so many folks are stuck just trying to keep their heads above water and how the really smart ones are breaking free to actually scale their business. Let's dive in.
So let me ask you, does this feel a little too familiar? You probably got into this business with big dreams, right? To grow a massive portfolio, to build real wealth for your clients, to be a strategic leader. But instead, you're just drowning in the day-to-day details, completely swamped by the grind.
And what's so wild is that the opportunity out there is absolutely massive. I mean, look at that number. The U.S. property management market is a $134 billion industry. With more capital and more rental demand than we've ever seen, there has literally never been a better time to be in this game.
But here's that paradox I was talking about. Even with all that opportunity, the industry's average annual attrition rate is a shocking 35%. People are burning out. They're leaving. The constant pressure is creating this huge talent crisis, and it just goes to show how unsustainable that daily grind has really become.
So what's really causing all this burnout? Well, it's that relentless, never-ending cycle of daily operational tasks. This is the grind that just eats up all your time and all your energy, and it puts a hard stop on any kind of real strategic growth. Let's break down what that actually looks like day to day.
First up, there's just the sheer weight of all the administrative work. I'm talking about a literal mountain of paperwork, right? Processing lease applications, managing records, preparing notices. The list just goes on and on. It's repetitive, it's time-consuming, and it completely pulls your focus away from the big picture stuff. And then you've got the constant flood of communications. Your phone is buzzing, your email is overflowing, you've got inquiries from tenants, questions from owners, going back and forth with vendors. It's overwhelming. And you know that any delay in responding can lead to unhappy tenants and even missed opportunities.
Oh, and let's not forget the maintenance chaos. It's like this crazy juggling act, right? Logging every repair request, finding the right vendor, tracking the job, making sure it gets done on time. And when that system breaks down, well, you know your tenant relations and your bottom line are the first things to suffer.
And of course, the financial headaches. Collecting rent, chasing down late payments, dealing with invoices, preparing owner statements. These jobs aren't just a time suck. They're also where tiny little manual errors can turn into really costly problems down the road.
Okay, now this chart, this really says it all, doesn't it? Just look at how a property manager's time gets carved up. Almost all of it is eaten up by putting out fires and just reacting to things. And see that tiny little sliver left over? Yep, that's all the time you have for actual growth and strategy. It's just not a sustainable way to run a business.
So, this brings us to the most important question of all. How in the world do you escape this vortex? How do you break the cycle and get back to focusing on the things that are actually going to grow your business? Well, the answer is a strategy that the fastest growing firms are already all over, leveraging specialized virtual assistants. And I'm not talking about just any remote help. We're talking about pros who are specifically trained for the unique, crazy demands of the property management world.
So what exactly is a property management VA? The best way to think of them is like a remote extension of your own team. They're professionals who already speak your language, they know lease agreements, they know fair housing regs, and they're already experts in the software you use every single day. Their whole job is to take over the operational grind so you can finally focus on strategy. And the scope of what they can handle is pretty much the whole shebang. Just think about your own to-do list, the entire leasing process, coordinating every single maintenance ticket, handling communications, financial admin. They can cover all of it. This isn't just busy work. This is the core engine of your business. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Integration. Is this going to be a huge pain to set up? But here's the thing. These specialized VAs are already masters of the platforms you're using. AppFolio, Buildium, Yardi, you name it. They can log right into your existing systems and get to work on day one. It's totally seamless. Okay, so this all sounds great in theory, right? But what really matters are the results. So let's take a look at how this kind of strategic delegation actually translates into real, measurable growth for companies just like yours. And wow, this chart just lays out the impact perfectly. Just look at these numbers. By delegating these tasks, firms are seeing a 70% reduction in just manual data entry, 50% faster maintenance response, and get this,
a staggering 90% decrease in payment processing errors. This isn't just about saving a little time. It's about making your whole operation smarter and way more profitable.
Those numbers are powerful for sure, but let's see what this looks like for a real company. Let's take this mid-sized firm down in Florida. They were a solid business, but they had completely hit a wall. They just couldn't grow.
And here's why. They were just drowning in maintenance requests. The volume was way too high for their team, which led to super slow response times. And the result? You guessed it, tenant satisfaction was plummeting and their turnover risk was going way up.
So they brought on a specialized VA to handle all their maintenance coordination. The impact was immediate. They got a 50% faster response time, which totally turned around their tenant retention. But here's the real kicker. With all that chaos handled, the manager was free to focus on growth, and they acquired 2 new properties in just 6 months.
All right, let's look at another one, this time a growing company over in Texas. They were facing a totally different, but just as common bottleneck to their growth.
Their team was just buried under all the admin work that comes with leasing. You know, screening applications, background checks, drawing up agreements. It was creating this huge lag time, which meant longer vacancy periods and literally thousands of dollars in missed revenue for their owners.
So, after they delegated these tasks to a leasing VA, they cut their average vacancy window by nearly a full week. They spent 70% less time on data entry, which meant they could actually focus on building better relationships with their property owners. And the result? Their reputation for being super efficient directly fueled their portfolio growth.
So what's the big takeaway here? How do you take these lessons and actually apply them? It's all about making a conscious decision to build a firm that is truly ready for the future.
This slide really just boils it all down, doesn't it? On one side, you've got the reactive operator, always buried in tasks, always fighting fires, and growth has totally stalled out. On the other side, you have the strategic leader. They're focused on growth. They're building systems that can scale. And delegation, that is the bridge that gets you from one side to the other.
So if you're ready to cross that bridge and make the leap from operator to leader, the next step is actually really simple. You can learn exactly how a specialized VA can completely transform your business by visiting virtualnextgen.com.
So I'll just leave you with this one last thought to chew on. As you look at your own company, at your own daily operations, just ask yourself this. Is my business built to just operate, or is it truly built to scale? The answer to that question could define your entire future in this industry.